if you happen to see the video I sent out yesterday, when I was talking about how you never see me on camera, because usually when I'm filming, I have not showered. Well, that's what this looks like. Went and worked out and came home and started recording videos. Well, I should say start recording video. And I just finished the first one, and guess what? When I went to replay it, I had not pressed record. Seriously! So, what you're gonna see now is actually version 2, even though version 1 apparently just happened with me and me here. But now we're gonna jump into the second version. Catch you in a second. Bye. So hey, it's Layle. I'm back for take 2. You guys, it's so funny, seriously. I'm so blonde. And I hope that doesn't offend any of you. I am a really smart blonde, but I'm still blonde somewhere in there. Anyhow, back to share the November Plan With Me video, where we put our Traveler's Notebook together. Now you may be working along with me as we go. You may be watching and then you might watch it again and again. I know some of you have told me that you start and you stop and then you catch up and then you start again. You can rewind. So unfortunately, I can't rewind the whole entire video that I just filmed, but you know what? That's how it goes. And I've talked about this a little bit before. I don't edit. I do not edit my videos as I go. So kind of you get what you get, and sometimes it gets a little silly, and yes, that time it did get very silly. So here we are. We're ready to go for November. I have here my finished spread. In this particular case, I am using the Carpe Diem typewriter circles. It's a really pretty kind of a robin's egg color. You can always get the Traveler's Notebooks from me if you feel like you need another one, or if you see something that catches your eye. Anyhow, that's the one that I've used in this one, but then to put mine together, as we're working together, I'm going to use a different one. In this month, we're using the Simple Stories Dream Big Collection, and you guys, it is so fun. All right, so for the one that we're doing together, I am using the Carpe Diem Blush Speckle, which is kind of a really nice blush color. We're getting a little bit of a shadow there, but really nice blush color. So to get started, we always start with the pockets as we're decorating. So I'm bringing out my trimmer, and we're going to trim all of our papers at once. And that is actually a benefit of recording the video over again. I did not do that the first time, so I had my trimmer out twice. So we're going to learn from our mistakes. Actually, I'm going to learn from my mistake, and we will do all of the trimming here at once. So get out your trimmer, and as I am cutting away, I'm just first of all cutting up these 3x4 cards. I love to use 3x4 cards with my Traveler's Notebooks because they're great for stuffing your pockets if your Traveler's Notebook has a pocket or pockets like the Carpe Diem ones do. If not, you would be skipping this little step, or you might be able to figure out how to incorporate them into your TN. As I work, I know a lot of times you guys are interested in the tools that I'm using, so I'll talk about those a little bit. I am not affiliated with any of these tool companies. I'm just sharing with you what I like to use because I know sometimes you like to know. The trimmer that I'm using here, from what I've been able to tell, I don't think it is on the market any longer. It is a guillotine trimmer, and it is made by a company called Purple Cow. I have finished up with my elements, and now I'm going to trim the product strips off my other two 12x12 papers. So, a guillotine trimmer. I have used this trimmer, I want to say, I bet 12, 13 years, and it's the same trimmer. The reason I love a guillotine trimmer is because you never have to replace the blade. There is no blade. It uses metal on metal to cut. So there's metal on your arm and there's metal on the base, and it is a perfectly sharp cut every single time. When I say perfectly, that assumes that the operator, which in this case is me, is thinking and making sure to cut things straight. It's always a beautiful, really crisp cut. It's whether or not it's cut straight because of me. Anyhow, there are a number of other companies that do make guillotine trimmers. I think Fiskars makes one. I think maybe Tonic makes one. So Tonic, I think it's Tonic. Anyhow, if you're interested in the guillotine trimmer, Google guillotine trimmer and you will find one. All right, so I'm going to now cut the two 12 by 12 sheets. The Carpe Diem Traveler's Notebook inserts that we're using are 8.25 inches long. And we're going to do, we're actually going to make slip covers for our inserts. So I need to cut both of these papers at 8.25 inches long. Now, when you are, or tall, I should say, I guess. When you are working with this paper, keep in mind that it has the words on it. So when you're cutting it, you want to make sure that you're cutting it so that those words are still facing the right direction. 8.25 tall. All right. Now, the last thing I'm going to do, this piece that we cut, this is what's left over of the 8.25 that we cut. I'm going to trim that down to 8 because we're going to do something a little bit different with that this month. All right, that is all we're going to need our trimmer for the month of November. So you can go ahead and put that away. All right, so now we're going to go about decorating our pockets. And as I decorate pockets, I always stuff them first, kind of with the base cards. So as we look at our cards, the card that is going in the top pocket is the one that says Adorbs. I like to outline my cards. I outline a lot of things, and I will show you what I mean when I say that. But if you look here, you can see up at the top, I've outlined all of those cards, and it just really makes them kind of pop. So this is the difference. You can see the outlining versus the not outlining. And that's just something a little quirky I've done for the last, I don't know, probably literally about 15 years. I have been scrapbooking for almost 22 years. And I've been planning and traveler's notebooking, if that's even a word, about 3 years. And it's just something I do. In this case, I also went around this little circle as well. You notice how I will rotate the card in this case because it makes it a lot easier to work with instead of trying to make my hand go all the way around. And I go fairly quickly because this is one of those things, the the slower and more precise that you try to go when you're doing it, the less precise it looks. All right, I shouldn't have brought that back in yet. Next card, that so sweet ice cream cone card. Outlining here as well. The pen that I am using, it is a Sharpie. It is a super fine tip Sharpie. And these I just buy on Amazon because I use them for everything. So usually I'll buy, 8 at a time, and then I just have them as I need them. All right, so now the next pocket. I'm actually using this card, but it's the reverse of the card that I'm using. And go ahead and use this card because there are going to be some of the other cards that we use later. And I don't want you to, well, actually, it's your traveler's notebook. You can do whatever you want. But if in this case you use a different card for the background, then you might not have the card that we need later. So I'm going to actually use this to... it is going to, let me see what I did here. Oh yeah, it's actually going this way, but it's too tall, right? It's too tall, it's covering up the ice cream cone. So I just fold it. If you wanted, you could get out your scissors, but folding is super easy. So in that card it goes, or in the pocket it goes. Now, I didn't outline this one ahead of time because I forgot, so I can either do it while it's in the pocket, or if I feel more comfortable, I could take it back out of the pocket and outline. Last pocket uses this G for girl, go girl card. Now, it is too wide. So if I try to put it in here sideways, it does not fit. So I need to trim a little bit off. I trimmed about, I want to say, 1/2 inch off at the bottom. And then I don't measure because, that's just too easy. In that case, now it fits. Now don't worry about what you see over there because we're going to end up covering a lot of that up, but it's in and it is fitting. All right, from here, now we start decorating and start having fun. I always like to make sure that you have a tape runner as you are putting your month together. And the reason for that would be something like this little guy. This little fun Spread Magic roller skate die cut piece. I should mention, you're now figuring out that we're using the bits and pieces die cuts from Dream Big. So starting with the roller skate. So the little roller skate goes over here, and it doesn't really tuck in the pocket. It is actually adhering directly to the traveler's notebook. Now, remember when I said I did the video once before, except I wasn't actually recording? I already have a little bit of tape on there, so I'm not going to add any more, but I'm just going to like stick that little guy right there. And I didn't overdo it. Literally, there's just a tiny bit, and that's just to help make sure that that little guy stays in place and does not move around. Same thing for my flower. Already has a little bit of sticky on it. So I'm going to put it right there. It has sticky on it because I put it on with my tape runner in the last video. Oh, the tape runner I'm using here, this is made by Tombow. Tombow makes awesome adhesive. So this is just what I'm using. All right, then in the next pocket, you have a couple of these cute little different characters in your die cuts. You have two fairies, you have a cat mermaid, and then you have a mermaid. So you can use one of those, and whatever you're doing, you're going to put her like right over here. And again, I had already added a little bit of adhesive behind her. I don't want you to think that your die cut should be self-adhesive, but they're not. They're just self-adhesive for me because I've already done this once. All right, so next, now we're going to take this little guy, this fun statement that says make some magic every day. In your kits, there's a little baggie full of embellishments, and in that baggie, there was a little silver flower. I used a glue dot to attach my little silver flower right there to the edge of that little piece. I put a little bit of tape runner on the back of that, and that is actually going right down here in that third pocket. All right, right up here, I want to add the butterfly. Again, butterfly adhesive is already there, and it's going to adhere right there. All right, next. This cute little cupcake. Isn't that darling, that little cupcake? Or I guess, you know, it could maybe be a cloud with a rainbow coming out of it. I don't know. Is it a cupcake? Is it a cloud with a rainbow? I think it's a cupcake. So I'm going to just tuck that kind of right down in there. And then right here, there's kind of a blank space. So I am adding two of the die cut stars. Now these aren't normally together in your die cut. They're separate, but we all know what happens. So there we go. That now goes in that pocket. Now, something just happened that I also want to point out. Not only do I adhere the things to the cards that are in the pockets, but I also like to just add a little tiny bit of tape behind those cards. And that just ensures that they don't move around a lot as I am, not really as I'm working, even though in that case it did move because I was working, but it's more as I'm using it throughout the month. That just makes sure that I spend a lot of time decorating my pockets, right? They should stay cute. So I add a little tiny bit of tape runner, and then that makes sure that they stay cute. For the bottom pocket, we are using this little unicorn that's kind of floating on the cloud. And he or she, I don't know, is it a he or she? He, she, it is going to go, oh, I have to be careful. He, she, it. That's when you really need to enunciate, right? All right, so that goes there, and I forgot to outline that card before I put it in, so let's just do a little bit of outlining again, and there we go. All right, next up is this little blue flower, and that little blue flower is going to go just kind of right in there, so it covers up a little bit of that writing. And then this little heart, which is now die cut, is now stuck to my tray because it has adhesive on it. There we go. All right, so this little heart, I had outlined it. See how it's outlined? I had outlined it and then stick it down here. So if you'd like to outline your heart, you can. That you may want to outline before you go, before you actually put it in. Okay, next, this big space right here. So Carpe Diem Traveler's Notebooks have that space right there at the bottom of the pocket. What I want to do here is I have two different words. One says believe and one says sparkle. I decided to put sparkle down there. And I did add a little bit of adhesive behind that so it would stay. And two more pieces. A larger die cut heart, which I outlined, and a yellow star. So die cut heart, you can see where it was before because you can kind of see where I outlined it. Heart goes there, and then the star is going to go right there. All right, so that is wrapping up our pockets here. Now, One of the things that I did after the fact, after I was completely done putting my traveler's notebook together, I added some stickles. Let's see if you guys can see that. Do you see kind of some of that shimmer? That little three-dimensional shimmer? I used this, Stardust Stickles. And stickles is like glitter glue, right? Some of us remember being a little girl and playing with glitter glue. So basically, I just took a little bit of that stickles, and again, I would recommend that you decorate your entire traveler's notebook before you do this so that you can set it aside maybe overnight to dry. Anyhow, I added a little there to that flower center. I added some there to the fairy's wings. I added to the little cheeks on the ice cream, to the wings on the butterfly, to those little starbursts on that quote, to the cheeks on the cupcake cloud, to the heart, and also to even the little colored in parts of the letters. So it's just fun, and it just gives it kind of a little extra added sparkle, since kind of that fun sparkly magic is the theme that we're going with here. So if that's something that you want to do, again, I used the Stardust stickles, but really you could use any color stickles. All right, so I obviously won't do that here. Now we are going to come back. Actually, no, we can do this now because I already had us cut it. So I always like to add a little something here, whether it's stickers or pattern paper or something. So I'm adding this piece that we cut. That is the back side of this that I had us cut to 8. If I slide it right in here, it just makes a nice little extra added decorative touch. But I didn't leave it at that. I used one of my Fiskars trimmers. So if you have any kind of border punch, if you don't have a border punch, if you have scallop scissors and want to do that, and if you don't even have scallop scissors, I'll show you in a sec what you could do. But basically, I'm just turning it over so I can see where I'm punching. And this kind of little bubble punch, I just punch, and then I get rid of this, and then I line it up and punch again, so that here, see how I've lined that up? So I line it up and punch again, and I would just repeat that process all the way through until I have that really kind of cute little decorative paper there. Now, if I don't have a punch or I don't have scallop scissors, I can do my own thing. So I'm now kind of turning it over, and here I'm just going to kind of free cut some cute little scallops. And when I say free cut, I really mean freehand cut, because that's what I'm doing here, right? I'm just kind of making fun little scallops. And this is another one of those things that the harder that you try to make it look perfect, the weirder it will look. So there we go. And then see, look at, isn't that cute? You can kind of see it's just a little, gives a little bit more of an added decorative touch. So you either could do that, or you could do that, or you could just leave it plain, which would still be cute, and then it would look like that top part up there. All right, so now we need to move to our inserts. In your kits, every month you get one new insert. And your Carpe Diem Traveler's Notebooks have bands for 4 inserts. So depending on how long you've been with me, or if you have been purchasing additional inserts, you may be slip covering. Well, actually, either way, you'll be slip covering your inserts, because this was not designed to go in here like that with my kit. Obviously, it's meant for that, but we're doing something different to it. We slip cover. The reason I give you a new one every month, or every other month, I guess, is so that as you're filling them up and they no longer have any space to write in them anymore, you can take it out and you have a new one to put in. So these are my inserts for October. Now, I don't want that to go in there that way, right? Because that does not look good. It doesn't match at all. And I don't want to adhere something permanent to my insert, or when I go to move it into my next month, it would be like this and it wouldn't work. So what I do is slip cover them. That's what we're going to do right now. We're going to slip cover them. So, and actually this has moved forward a couple of months. So that's why it looks all weird inside. But what I'm going to do here is I am pulling off the slip cover from October, and I'm going to add my slip cover, make my slip cover for November. And I'm going to do the first one with this paper that we cut before. So now this reminds me, what I didn't tell you guys right there when we were just going over the stickles, right before I got to, oh, hold on, I have to think. I need to put this yellow up. Right before I got to the part about filling in the letters, for whatever reason, I happened to look up, and I will do this often where you can't see my little head. There you can see my hat. I look up here to see what's going on the camera, and I looked up, and there was a little message on my phone that said, storage full, which meant it had stopped recording. Now, I like to share these stories with you. If you've ever taken a class from me in person, you know that I tell lots of stories. But I like to share stories like that with you because, you know, things like that happen to all of us, right? Not just you. It happens to all of us. So, luckily, somebody's watching over me. Luckily, literally, maybe I missed 30 seconds. So, I did not have to go film all over again, which would have been for the third time. Okay, so we're good. Anyhow, what I did here, you just saw me. I'm making a slip cover for my insert, just like I did when I was in elementary school and I had to slip cover my textbooks with the garbage bag, right? The garbage bag, not the garbage bag, the brown grocery bag. Yes, the brown grocery bag. Now I'm looking for something that I have misplaced since I did the video before. I am looking for, oh, here it is, right where I put it. I just couldn't see it. I'm looking for the washi. So you have, this month you have 2 washies. You always have 2 washies. This month you have a full roll for December for one of the Merry and Bright rolls. And then you have a strip of washi wrapped around a popsicle stick. So what we're doing here is we're basically just using a little bit of that to temporarily, right? This is just temporary until it comes time for next month. And I need to re-slip cover, and I need to take this off, so I'm temporarily just doing that. And I'm going to open this. Don't be distracted by all the pattern and other things going on my insert that I'm covering. I'm doing the same thing there. Taking a little bit of washi, I would unroll that and put that right down there. All right, and then I close it up, and then I'm slip covered. Temporary, because when I'm ready to pull that off, I can just pull that off. Like this one, when I was ready to pull off after filming the last video, or thinking I was filming and not really filming, there it is. All right, and I just pulled it right back off because it was temporarily adhered with washi. Okay, now I wanna make sure I've got that facing the right direction. I outline, and my lines aren't straight, right? That is part of it. That's just part of that kind of fun, whimsical look. And there we go. Outlined. Okay. Next of all, I need to add a card. The card I'm using is this super cute little Life is Magical fairy card. There's a few things I need to do to her before I can actually adhere her down. First thing, of course, is I need to outline her because that's just what I do. Then, let me show you the finished sample. You have a little bit of tulle in your kit, and I made her a little fairy skirt just with that tulle. So what we need to do before we adhere her down is we either need to take a very small pair of scissors or an X-Acto knife. Now, I did not bring out my, is it handy? Okay, it's not handy. I was looking for my self-adhesive cutting mat. So do not do this at home. I am just going to poke through with my X-Acto knife the top of her little skirt. So I poked right through there. See how my blade goes right through there? I poked right through there because that is what I need. That's what I'm going to tuck that little tulle in under. So I'm just going to fold this tulle kind of like that. I mean, it's just messy, super messy, right? And I'm going to, I have grabbed just a little Tim Holtz tiny attacher. You could grab a stapler, grab something to be able to secure all that together at the top. So I just staple a couple of times because I want to have that all nicely kind of patched up. Then I'm going to take that and I'm going to thread that through that little hole that we just made in her skirt. Now I want to do this very gingerly because I obviously don't want that to tear. So I'll turn it over and very carefully thread that through. All right, there we go. Then I can pull it through as far as I need to then make her cute little skirt. But isn't that fun? Now, she's a little bit long over here. So I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm just gonna cut a little bit of that off. And there you go, I have her skirt. So I could kind of keep playing with that if I wanted. But now I am going to apply my adhesive to the back of that card. And that I will adhere onto my cover. Super cute, right? Isn't that fun, that little stuff? All right, then the next thing we need to do, I have pulled out both of these die cut flowers from the die cuts, and I'm adding a little bit of adhesive to each one. And I'm gonna put one of these kind of right here on the side of the card. Oops, don't wanna cover the L in life. And then we don't wanna have a lifeless card. Oh, I'm not very good at jokes. All right, and then that one goes over there. And that is my first cover. Isn't that cute? All right, so that would slide right into my insert. So let's get that in there. Ta-da! Oh, we need to add this back in. Let's add this back in. All right, then we're gonna make our next insert. So let's grab, that would be my second insert that I had left over from October. You guys know, you know that you can also purchase, when you purchase your kits, your bi-monthly kits, you can also purchase additional inserts from me. So I, in the emails, always include links to the different inserts that are available. This is the monthly insert that I have been using. I decorated September, but not October. All right, so I'm just gonna now slip cover that. Obviously not included in your kit, that's one that I use, but you might be using your new insert that came in your kit to slip cover. So let's do this, open that up. I usually just like to open to the center. And, oh, here's the thing. Before you do this, remember there are words on there. So before you fold, maybe look and make sure your words are right side up. Now, it's not the end of the world if it's not, because this is temporary what we're doing, right? This is temporary because we are adhering with washi. So if we did that upside down, we could just take the washi off and flip it over. All right, so we will put this little washi here. Closing away. And another little strip of washi. Let's go right here. Oh, now I'm a little low on my washi because remember, I recorded the video and didn't really record. I'm never gonna let myself live that down. Alrighty, so now, cute, huh? Just fun little words, and I love how some of those letters have their little loopy-doopies filled in with color and outlining. Lest you wonder whether I talk to myself all the time, in this case I'm not really talking to myself because you guys are here with me, right? But yes, I do. I work from home 4 days a week, and then I go into the Simple Stories office 1 day a week. It's about an hour each way from my home to the office, so that's a once a week thing, and I am here by myself, so I talk to myself all day when I work. All right, a little bit of a little bit of adhesive, and this is going to go right up there, kind of towards the top. All right, now next, this fun little hello speech bubble. Ooh, needs some adhesive there, and it's going to go right, ding, right there. And then we talked before about the 2 words, and I said you could use believe or you could use sparkle. The one that you still have left over, whichever one you didn't use on your cover, we're going to put that right there at the bottom. So I'm going to Oh, that's why I didn't outline the bottom of that, in case you were thinking, Layle, hello, you forgot. I didn't. Or I forgot on purpose. All right, so this is gonna go just about right there. And then, oh, I lied. Well, no, we don't need a trimmer. We're gonna do something different. All right, the last thing I did, there's a number of word strips that look like this in your kits or in the die cuts. They say, this one says ride a unicorn, and that kind of works well because it's a unicorn. If I put that there, it was kind of a little bit harder to see. It kind of was a little busy and kind of blended in. I felt like it needed a little something to help break it up. So I used a little piece of this. I'm going to take this is what was left over from this slip cover. So I take a little bit of tape runner, and I'm just going to put that about right there. Just give it a little border. And I'm not going to get my trimmer out because it's just easier sometimes to use scissors instead of a trimmer. So there we go. And there we go. And my tape runner. And down that goes. So see how it just made it kind of stand out a little bit more. Otherwise it kind of blended in, cream background or white, and then it would disappear. All right, so now I'm going to take my second insert for November. And into my bands it goes. And that, my friends, is the second and a half, 2.5 times of the November video. I hope you guys enjoy, have fun with that. Have a great November, and I will see you in December. Actually, I'll see you in a few minutes, but you won't know it's a few minutes. We'll all be like in November going, oh my gosh, November went so fast. But for me, it's really still October. All right, take care, you guys. Bye-bye.
Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water